Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Financial Investor channel. My name is Brent, and today we're going to be doing our Monday buys here for the 15th of July 2019. We're going to take a look at what stocks have performed here within the last week, also what stocks paid out dividends, what stocks were paid and reinvested those dividends. I did end up making some buys on Friday as I was paid out some dividends. We're also going to be taking a look at the 1 week performance, and we're going to cover two stocks that I have my eyes on, either one this week, and then that's going to be the last time I possibly buy it here for quite a while because it should meet my equity goal, and it's going ex-dividend here on Tuesday or Wednesday, and that'll be the last time here in the short term that I will be buying it. It is on the it looks like it is on the recovery, so I think it will be a good buying opportunity. And the second one is a real estate investment trust that I've had on my watch list for a while. It's actually down quite a bit from where I initially started watching it, and I think is a good buying opportunity. I will probably be splitting up my equity between these two positions and then going and buying that one in the upcoming weeks as it moves closer to its ex-dividend here towards the end of the month. So if you are brand new to the channel, have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button below. I cover the stock market, dividends, real estate, personal finance. If you do enjoy this video, find it helpful, hit the thumbs up. And if you have any comments, questions, would like to let me know what stocks you are buying this week, drop it into the comment section. I do read and reply to all your comments, and let's go ahead and get into the video. I am going to go ahead and flip my screen around here, and we're going to cover really quickly stock futures, which are looking positive. Now, earnings is this week. We're kicking off earnings week, which is a big topic this week. We have financials starting on Monday, going heavy on Tuesday, and continuing very slowly throughout the rest of the week. We'll cover some of the earnings that I'm looking at this week. So stock futures all looking positive right now. 0.07 in the S&P, NASDAQ 0.03, Dow 0.10. I believe as these earnings come out, they may or may not beat expectations. They may lower guidance going forward, and we may see a bit of a pullback here this week, and that will be completely normal. We have had straight positive weeks here within the last 3-4 weeks, and I do believe we need a bit of a pullback here in the short term just so that we can breathe out and trend either sideways or reorient ourselves. That way we're not just chugging higher week after week up percentages at a time. So I would like to see some bit of a pullback here. I was reading through this article, forget earnings, the smart money is looking into the future. So earnings, everyone, sort of the analysts are expecting that guidance will be ended up being negative. We may see earnings not hitting their potential, lowering guidance for the future, global slowdown, made worse by trade tensions and all sorts of stuff in here. And here towards the bottom, they're actually kind of saying that earnings may not play a big part. We may just push earnings aside completely, and we have this whole impact coming forward from all these businesses being able to borrow money at a lower rate, as the Fed may possibly cut the rate here in the upcoming weeks or months by 0.5 to 0.5%. They're aiming at a 99% chance that this will take place, but still expectations out there that even with guidance being a little bit gloomy, even with that rate cut, stocks could fall above 5 to 10%. And I think that would be fine. A bit of a correction here mid-year where we're already up some 20-some% in the market overall could be good going forward, just so that it doesn't continue to get blown up here. Now, Monday, we have our earnings getting kicked off. I'm only going to cover a few stocks here that are on earnings, a lot of financials, but the first one here on Monday on the 15th is Citigroup kicking it off on earnings for these financials, followed by JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, Johnson & Johnson over there on the healthcare after they fell 4% on Friday. We also have Domino's Pizza, Charles Schwab, and a few others. And Wednesday, continuing some of our bigger ones, we have Bank of America, Progressive Group, Abbott Laboratories. We have U.S. Bank Corp, and it sort of kind of mellows out after Wednesday. I don't know of a whole lot of companies out here. United Health Group, they did really well last week. Morgan Stanley here on Thursday. Nucor Group with that gold mining. Honeywell also down there. You can see a lot of growth expected. It's more red out here than green here as far as expectations and earnings. So we shall see how this all sort of plays out as earnings goes this week. And on Friday, not a whole lot that I actually recognized. I was looking through here early, and not a whole lot of companies here that I recognize. So Monday through Wednesday will be some of those big days, and I think Friday will be a bit of a cool day to kind of process all the earnings that have taken place and using financials to kind of look forward as how other companies in the upcoming weeks will produce their earnings. So jumping over into the M1 Finance platform, let's go ahead and load the portfolio up. Now, 1 week performance over on this portfolio didn't do amazing. It basically just stayed flat here on the week, while the rest of the indexes were actually pretty positive. We can see a huge spike here towards the end of the day on Friday. It had mainly trended sideways for most of Friday. Towards the end of the day, we had some activity get picked up, and it actually broke the 3,000 point here, hitting all-time highs. Now, if we're looking at the 5-day, the S&P was up 0.78, the Dow Jones was up 1.52, and the Nasdaq was up 1.01. So this portfolio actually had some good performance and some negative performance. Some of our bigger, smaller holdings were some of our best performers. Our best performers being such small pieces of our total pie. $50, $160, $76. These little pieces don't really help the overall portfolio. Now, Lowe's 3.05 for the week. Cisco another 2.39. I know they were up some 3-4% last week, so really amazing to see Cisco just keep chugging higher and higher. Walmart 2.34. And so most of our bigger equity positions are in that 2% range. And then down towards the bottom, we can see some of our healthcare sector got slammed last week, and our utilities, and our REITs, it looks like. So REITs, utilities, and healthcare, we can see Avery Dennison down nearly 6%, Johnson & Johnson down 4.5%, Pfizer 3.5%, Avi down 2.25%, at Kellogg's, Cardinal Health, the Southern Company, Digital Realty Trust, SPG, General Mills. So everything was down either around almost 6%. To somewhere around 1%. So those really add up, and that's what kept the portfolio pretty much balanced for the week. No highs, no lows, just kind of trended higher or sideways here, ending with only $6 gained on the week. Now, we did have some activity paid out last week. We did have some stocks paid out dividends. We had Altra paying out $9.33. I made one purchase last Friday. This is activity from the 12th of July, so this is on Friday. I was paid out some dividends. I reinvested that immediately into Kellogg's, $9.32 there, buying up 0.17032 shares at $54.72. That was my stock buy. That is why we have no cash right now. Otherwise, we'd have that $9 sitting in cash, and we would be using that here in our upcoming buys this week. Now, I had mentioned already, I have two stocks on my mind that I want to be buying up this week. One that is coming up on ex-dividend here on Tuesday or Wednesday, and that is Caterpillar. This is showing the stock down 5.19. Now, I look at this one over on my spreadsheet, and this the M1 Finance weighs it in there with dividends being included in the actual equity gain. Actually, it looks like maybe not, but I've received $13.13 from Caterpillar while holding it in the portfolio. It has had market gains of negative $35.42. This gives me a rate of return of negative 5.37% there, so negative $35.42. Now, Caterpillar recently had a very nice positive week here, up 3. Okay, I thought it was higher. So 2.14% on the week. A lot of this is from Friday. So there's my 3.29. I know on Friday they shot up very nicely here on Friday. So up 3.29% for Friday, 2.14% for the overall week. Now, buying into Caterpillar right now for me is lowering my unit cost, increasing my yield on cost, lowering my unit cost, and increasing my overall dividends. I'm not getting that 3% starting yield on Caterpillar anymore. But at the same time, I'm not sure how much more volatility Caterpillar will have. I believe maybe possibly in the future, Caterpillar could potentially continue to move higher and higher, coming out of where it has been here just these last few weeks and months. So this could be my last opportunity to really buy into this one, and this will push my equity over into the actual area that I wanted it to. I want all my stocks to eventually have about $700 of equity between them before I start increasing all of them at about an average, average level. So I think Caterpillar, if I put over $30 into this will give me a $700 equity position within this company. And moving forward, that'll be completely fine. I'll just kind of let it go. Now, Caterpillar here, I have dividend.com kind of pulled up here. And it's grown and paid out dividends since 2010. That shows 9 years of dividend growth. They did a dividend, dividend split 2-for-1 here back in 2010 or 2008, 2009, which is why they didn't increase their dividend here for a short time. They just kind of trended it sideways. They have a low payout ratio, starting yield again of 2.98. Now you kind of notice here there's a counting clock here. They go ex-dividend here on July 19th. Oh, that is this Friday. So this Friday is the last opportunity, or Thursday. Thursday is actually the last opportunity to buy this company for me for a ex-dividend, to be able to rebuy it before the ex-dividend date. So in 4 days here, 7 minutes and 43 seconds, they'll be going ex-dividend, and I'll have to own all those shares, and then I'll get paid out a dividend. So that is one I am going to be buying up this week. Now the other one, I've been wanting to continue building up my portfolio. I don't mind having a larger portfolio. The stocks here that I hold in this portfolio actually make up a smaller percentage of the total portfolio, because I hold a lot of the S&P 500 across other 401ks, thrift savings plans, other brokers and such. So this is one that I really just like to I like to really build up positions. That way I have multiple positions where I don't feel where I'm kind of squished into just having to average into specific positions. I don't like averaging up. I recently averaged up on Eaton Vance last week, and that wasn't a terrible position to be averaging up. I still feel it's at a really good value, but I think at this buying opportunity, I would like to buy Caterpillar. And the other company that I'm going to be added into my portfolio is Tanger Factory Outlet. Now this one has been on my watch list here for quite a while. I'll show you my sort of half-made watch list. I have another spreadsheet somewhere else of my other watch list, but here are a few companies I kind of put together that are or have been on my watch list for quite a while. Now I made a video back in November, December of 5 stocks I was looking to possibly purchase here in the short term. T Rowe, ADP, VFC, Cisco, and I think Walgreens was part of my 5. Now, Walgreens I added into the portfolio. T Rowe, ADP, VFC, and Cisco did not get added in at that time, but I always take snapshots of if I had purchased one share at the price that I had wanted to buy them at, where would I be at as far as share price, where would they be at, and also what would the percentage change would have been had I purchased it at that time. That's just so I measure my valuations on a spreadsheet, and then I make a, sort of buy one share if I had bought it. Now, a few of these other ones here, GPC, Hormel Foods. Hormel Foods is actually one I've been wanting to add to my position. If it continues to come down lower, I will probably be adding that one into my portfolio as well. That one has 52 years of dividend growth. Now, the other ones down here towards the bottom, I did make a video going over 5 stocks to buy here recently, and a few of these made the list. I believe that they were WW and Grain Art, Leggett & Platt, Nucor Corporation, Community Bank, Trust Bancorp, and First Financials. I'm not sure if Collins had been on that video or not. And then the other one here that I had been taking a look at was Tanger Factory Outlet. Now this company, since my initial, watching this specific stock, I had started watching it around $18.83. It has now came down to trading at $16.39. Now this one has had instances here recently of falling into that high $15 point, and it is in the retail real estate investment trust. It's a real estate investment trust in the retail sector. They have a bunch of outlets out on the East Coast over on that side. I'm not familiar with the actual establishments themselves, but I've had a lot of investors out there, friends, family over in that area who have mentioned that whenever they go to one of these facilities, there's always packed with individuals buying and shopping and spending money, and their financials checked out. They have really good financials, but recently with the Amazon trade, the scare, Tanger and Factory Outlets having getting slammed during that time frame, as well as Target, Kroger, Macy's, J.C. Penney's, and those are little outlets. They're not really a real estate investment trust, and I think this could be a turning point for them. Now, this is not me saying it that go out there and buy it. This is just me in my portfolio saying that in my eyes and my current valuations, I feel that SKT, Tanger Factory, and Outlets could now be a good buying opportunity in my portfolio. For my initial buy point, I saved myself $2.44 since not buying it in the past. That's when it came into my vision, and it has gone down roughly 14% there since I kind of added into my list. Now, that is my other company here that I'm going to be buying. So here it is over on dividend.com. This one has 26 years of growing and paying out a dividend since 1993. It has a 58.4 payout ratio, but it's a real estate investment trust, so they normally do special payouts, or they'll bump this up to meet that payout ratio of roughly 90%. We have a starting yield of around 8.66%, high up there. Now this one does go ex-dividend here towards the end of the month. As I had mentioned, I will be buying Caterpillar this week. It goes ex-dividend on Friday. I don't need to buy it next week, so I'll buy half Caterpillar, half SKT this week. And then my new 2 upcoming weeks, I will probably be hitting up SKT, adding to that position regardless of where it moves. If it moves lower, that is really good. I would really like SKT to move lower than where I'm planning to buy it right now. And that'll give me a higher starting yield, lowering my unit cost, increasing my overall dividends here that I will be making from this specific position. Now, this one has, again, 26 years of growing and paying out dividends. And here we can see some instances where they do some stock splits, 2 for 1, 2 for 1, and they just continue to raise and pay out a dividend. Now, they are due to grow and pay out a dividend here in sometime here in the future. We can see some instances of 35 cents, 35 cents, 35 cents. They haven't grown their dividend by a whole lot here recently. We can see here that they grew it by 0.005 cents here, and that's fine right now. They don't want to be growing it too fast when they don't need to be, especially when their yield is already so high. So that's just some of the this could be a red flag for some investors. I think this is a good buying opportunity. I don't mind taking a little bit of risk. It's still a very small, tiny position of the whole portfolio. So we will see how this one kind of plays out here in the near future. So those are my 2 stocks that I'll be buying up this week. I'm going to be adding $115.38 into the portfolio. $115.38. Divide that by 2. That is roughly $60 into both positions. So what I'm going to be doing here is going and taking a look and finding Caterpillar. So sort this by my negatives, locate Caterpillar, and go ahead and do a buy sell. And I'm going to go ahead and punch in $60 in order to buy that and continue and confirm. And then my next purchase that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to go back into my portfolio, editing my portfolio because I will be adding SKT into the portfolio. And we're going to go ahead and add that to the basket, click add. It's going to go ahead and bring it in. I'm going to go ahead and select all, equalize all my positions, and go ahead and save and confirm. That's not going to sell any of my positions. That's not going to rebalance any of my positions. All that did was added it down here at the bottom, and it's set as a 3% ratio of my total portfolio. So here, what I'm going to go ahead and do is select it, and this is going to go specifically into Tanger Factory. I'm going to go ahead and select buy sell. I'm going to go ahead and keep the buy and punch in 60 here, and I'm actually going to do 65. I always like to overshoot just a little bit here. So we have $125 of confirmed equity going into the market. I don't plan on having $125 as I only add $115.38 every week. Now, if I do have some dividends that get hit here on Monday, if you watch my Friday video, it's always better to overinvest versus underinvest. That way I make sure that I have 100% of my cash that's being deposited and dividends that are getting paid out. So those are my 2 stocks this week that I will be buying. I'm going to be buying Caterpillar and Tanger Factory Outlet. So let me know in the comment section below what stocks you are buying this week. Do you own any Caterpillar or Tanger and Factory Outlets? Let me know as well. And that basically concludes my video. Are you guys looking forward to earnings? Are you looking forward to anything this week? Any stocks that you're looking forward to here? Let me know in the comment section. If you did enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up. If you did like this video, again, hit the thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button below. And if you have any comments, questions, want to share some information as to what stocks you are buying this week, drop it into that comment section. I do read and reply to all your comments. And thank you all for tuning in. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.